Do your baked goods ever just not turn out how they're supposed to? Good news is there's a chance it's not your fault, and it could be the atmosphere to blame.
Yeah, with baking, there's a number of factors that come into play. And really, the big issues are it comes down to temperature is probably one of the big ones, um, and then humidity is probably the next.
Temperature is crucial to textures of all doughs when baking, but high heat is the absolute killer of flaky pastries and pie crusts. A hot kitchen means that your dough might fall apart before it even hits the oven.
If it's too hot in the room where you're making your scones, that butter gets all kind of soft and stuff. It'll be really difficult to get that conditions. So keeping it refrigerated and stuff, and then keeping your ingredients not only like the right temperature, but also, especially if you got high humidity, you don't want all that. It's a lot of stuff can start to stick together in those high conditions.
In cases of both high and low humidity, the evaporation rates of your baked goods are affected. During the summer, temperatures and humidities can soar.
It's really humid, like 90% or something like that. Then it becomes like everything get kind of sticky, and you're not having good evaporation from your product. Um, and it just things get a little bit more gummy.
That's right, sticky air can make hours of waiting for bread to rise or dough to chill into a gummy mess. On the other hand, when the air dries and the holiday season rolls around, you can get too much evaporation, which will suck the joy out of your sweet treats.
Low humidity, and generally we're talking low humidity, probably lower than 30%. So it's really dry, and so you find that your evaporation rates in your product tends to get more drier.
Another atmospheric issue comes from the fact that most recipes that you'll find online do not account for high altitudes.
Low altitude, low pressure is a third. Probably not as big of an issue as it would be, if you went and you were about, whatever, a mile high, that's where you start to have that impact because of the lower air pressure. Again, you're going to have that expansion of the leavening, a lot faster. And it can cause a collapse in that. So you can adjust your leavening agents a little bit to reduce that, so it's not overly, causing the rapid gas to be produced, which can lead to collapse. So you can adjust for that.
No matter where or when you are baking, it only takes a few simple measures to set yourself up for sweet success. Keep your ingredients at the temperature your recipe suggests. Add less liquid when it's really humid or more when it's really dry. Research how your specific altitude impacts baking, and make sure your ingredients are fresh.
Leavening agents too, if they become moist, if they're not protected from moisture, they could become deactivated.
Keep these tips in mind the next time you bake, and it should come out a cut above the rest. For Weather World, I'm Rebecca Newell.